Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into a classic, an RC icon, the Tamiya HotShot chassis family.
That's the original, the Super HotShot, the Bigwig, the Boomerang, legendary stuff.
Absolutely. Debuted back in '85, Tamiya's first shaft-driven 4WD buggy. Just iconic.
It really set a standard.
So our mission today is, well, taking this classic, definitely a product of its time, and figuring out how to make it really perform reliably today. We're going to break down some of its, let's say, quirks.
Okay, quirks is a polite way to put it sometimes.
And find the one critical upgrade that can bring these legends up to speed. But I have to ask, why focus so much on the servo? Seems like a small part.
That's a great starting point, because the servo, believe it or not, it's kind of the linchpin for modernizing these specific buggies.
Okay.
See, they have these unique mechanical challenges and spatial limits, too, that modern tech can fix, and that one strategic servo upgrade, it tackles a whole bunch of these problems at once for you.
All right, I'm intrigued. Let's get into it. First off, you mentioned the confines of the cockpit. What's this inverted monocoque bathtub chassis? Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is. Imagine like a small boat hull, right? Now, flip it upside down. That's basically the chassis structure. Super strong for its day.
Yep.
But it creates this very enclosed, low-slung area inside for all the electronics. Innovative then, sure, but now, well, it's a real modernization bottleneck.
So fitting today's gear is tough.
Exactly. Modern ESCs, electronic speed controllers, they're bulkier. And the 2.4 gigahertz receivers, they need space too. A standard-size servo just eats up way too much valuable real estate in there.
Right, forces you to make compromises. I remember seeing comments, listeners specifically wanting a low-profile model precisely to save room in the radio box. So space is definitely issue one.
Definitely, but it's not just about space. There are mechanical hurdles too.
Like the horrendous bump steer. That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
How does the monoshock suspension cause that?
Yeah, that's a big one. With that single central shock setup, when the suspension moves up or down, the steering geometry actually forces the wheels to turn a little bit on their own. That's bump steer.
So the car's kind of steering itself over bumps.
Precisely. It fights you, makes it less predictable, and it really cuts down on your maximum steering angle, your steering lock. It's quite pronounced on the HotShot family.
Okay, wow.
And then you've got the Bigwig. Fantastic car, but its direct drive rack and pinion steering adds another layer.
How so?
Well, any impact on the front wheels, it creates a direct load path straight back to the servo, no buffer. With older, weaker servos, you'd often see minimal wheel movement because the servo just couldn't handle the shock.
So the servo isn't just turning the wheels.
Exactly. It needs to be tough enough to act almost like an active stabilizer, holding the wheels where you point them despite those forces.
Gotcha. So putting all this together, the tight space, the bump steer, the direct impacts on the Bigwig, what makes the perfect modern servo? You mentioned 4 pillars.
Yes, exactly. These 4 things work together. Pillar 1. Low profile.
Makes sense for the space issue.
Right. It's physically shorter, maybe 30 millimeters high, instead of a standard 38 or so. That directly frees up that critical room we talked about for the ESC. Receiver, clean wiring, makes a huge difference.
So pillar 1, low profile. What's 2?
Pillar 2, digital. This is key. We're talking microprocessor control, high-frequency pulses like over 300 times a second, 300 hertz.
And what does that give you?
It gives you much better holding power to fight that bump steer, minimal deadband, that little lag you feel in older analog servos.
Yeah, it's lop.
Gone. And just pinpoint precision. It actively combats the inherent issues in the chassis, the linkage slop.
Nice. Pillar 3.
Metal geared. Durability, plain and simple. Off-road buggies take hits. Plastic gears can strip, especially under shock loads. For the Bigwig's direct drive steering, well, metal gears are basically non-negotiable. You need that toughness.
Makes sense. And the last one?
Pillar 4. Waterproof. Think an IP67 rating or similar. These are off-road buggies. You're going to hit mud, puddles, maybe even run in the rain.
Especially with that low electronics box, right? Seems vulnerable.
Absolutely. Waterproofing means it's sealed against dust and can handle being submerged for a bit. It ensures reliability when things get messy.
Okay, those 4 pillars sound comprehensive. Low profile, digital, metal geared, waterproof. But let me push back a bit. Do you really need all 4? Couldn't you say get a metal geared digital one, but maybe skip the waterproofing if you only run on dry days?
You could, but that's where the synergy comes in, or rather, the lack of it. Each pillar supports the others. If you leave one out, you create a weakest link that undermines the whole point of the upgrade.
How so? Give me an example.
Okay, take your example. You get this fantastic, precise, strong, low-profile digital middle-geared servo. Amazing performance. Then, oops, unexpected puddle. Or even just wet grass if it's not waterproof.
Let the electronics fry.
Exactly. Your expensive high-performance steering is suddenly useless. For an off-road buggy designed to handle rough terrain, skipping waterproofing just doesn't make sense long-term. You need all four for that robust, reliable, modern performance boost.
Okay, point taken. Synergy matters. So we've got this ideal four-pillar servo. Is that it? Job done? Or is there anything else needed to really maximize that upgrade?
Good question. The servo is the heart, but you want to make sure the rest of the system can keep up.
Yeah.
2 small complementary upgrades really make a difference.
What are they?
First, replace the stock plastic servo saver. It's designed to protect the servo, but with a powerful digital servo, the stock one can feel a bit vague, introducing slop. A dedicated high-torque servo saver like the Tamiya Part 51000 gives you protection, but with much more direct control.
Better feel, less flex.
Yeah.
Got it. And the second?
Swap the plastic servo, horn the little arm on the servo for a machined aluminum one. Again, it's about eliminating flex. You want all that power and precision from your fancy new servo to go straight to the steering linkage, not get absorbed by a flexing plastic part.
Right. Maximize the connection.
These 2 little parts ensure you feel every bit of that servo upgrade.
So it really is fascinating how one component, chosen carefully with those 4 pillars and maybe supported by a couple of small linkage parts, can just fundamentally change how these old classics feel and perform.
It truly is. It addresses the space problems, the mechanical weaknesses like bump steer, gives you modern control, and adds that essential environmental protection. It lets these legendary Tamiya buggies not just run today, but actually thrive.
Yeah, it's not about erasing their character, is it? It's more like preserving that classic driving experience, but, empowering it with the reliability and precision of modern tech.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, we hope this deep dive gives you some solid ideas for unlocking the full potential of your own RC legend. Thanks for joining us.